Okay, welcome to the Q2 2025 product update. Today we want to talk about some of the new features that are coming along within our new UI development, some of the new tools that will enable users to get a little bit more out of the data. We'll also talk about our data delivery portal and how we've begun deploying the feature for allowing clients to have more access to their data as quickly as you can, and whatever environment you would like to see it, whether it's Snowflake or anywhere else. And then we also want to talk briefly about some of the new initiatives we have going on internally behind the scenes, where we talk about continuous integration and continuous deployment in our new lower environments, so we can assist clients with not only deploying new code on your behalf, but allowing you guys the opportunity to test it as well. So first, let me dive into the new UI demo. So what we're seeing here is a new version of our UI that allows clients to come in to the basic landing page that we've talked about before, the dashboard. You're going to come in and see, you'll see some interesting data elements here. This is out of our development testing environment. So we need to test that values can be as large as they need to be. So not everybody's going to have a $15 billion real estate position, but we need to be able to test how wide the column will display. So we just, please bear with us as we're looking at some of this data. But what we want to show today is some of the new features that are in the new UI around both our widgets and how they're deployed here on the dashboard. You can see this one here. The cash flow widget is deployed in a double width. We also have the ability to show widgets in single column format as well. So here we have quick links and resources showing the single column, where you can have two side by sides, or we can have a widget go the full width across. It's entirely up to the client. But the really neat features today that I wanted to talk about have to do with how we are making the data more available to the users in the user interface. So I want to go down to the account page here and show you, really, it's a change in how we display data in the UI in these grids. So in our original website, there was not a whole lot of grid functionality available. And that's one of the things we've gotten feedback from our clients around with this version, is to increase the data availability in these grids. So one of the neat features we've added is anywhere you would see a listing like this, it's going to be in a grid format. And in these grids, you'll have the ability to modify the number of columns that are shown and the actual columns shown, especially not so much here on the account view, but as we get to the transactional activity or investment activity, you'll be able to look at additional columns that don't necessarily fit on the page. So if we have 12 columns of transactional information, you'll be able to modify which fields are pulled into the display. You can drop or add as necessary, and then if you add more than that'll fit here, it'll scroll to the right as far as it needs to allow you to see all the information. But so anyway, you'll be able to come in and modify the account numbers. You can search for a column name, but you can modify the columns shown in here by just clicking and unclicking the actual columns. Coming into filtering. So filtering, this is very neat. You can come in and start dynamically filtering the account. I'll show you here. As an account number contains, we'll just see all these zeros listed. We'll say 0, 0, 0, 0, and that dynamically filtered all of those. You can add another level where you can say, and balance is greater than 5,000, and you'll see that the list continues to filter. And it tells you down here at the bottom that we filtered on 31 of 266 rows here. So that's a really neat ability as you get not just in the account view, but the holdings, asset allocations, transactional activity. There are a lot of places where this could be very useful for end users. And then you can clear them by just hitting remove all. There's density as well. If you like to compact this, and you can put a little bit more on the page, or if you want to expand it, you can do that as well. But it comes default at what we call standard. And then one of the neat features here as well is export feature. Just has a CSV. We've had a lot of feedback that Excel's great, but a CSV, if you're dealing with a larger volume of data, would be beneficial. So you have the ability to download as a CSV as well. And this same functionality is repeated across all of our grid features. So accounts, holdings, asset allocation, all of these portfolio level features are going to have a grid involved with it. So you can then filter by, one of the neat things here is filtering by last updated. So you can see your holdings and what was updated the most recently. But that is available in all of the tabs. I'll hop over to transactions because this is the one that would see the most information that you would eventually be able to filter on and then have out to the right. But yes, as you can see here, you're able to filter on. This is, again, dev data, so it's only 36 transactions, but you'll be able to filter on a lot of the different features of transactional activity. So that's one of the neat new things that are coming out in the new UI. But one other fun thing to show is on our cash flow tab. So I'm going to hop over here real quick, and we'll have the ability in this tab as well. This is another place where we're introducing a grid view, but you can also, in this view, dynamically come into the UI and make changes to everything that you're working on. You can change the values in these fields and make it whatever you need it to be. So if you need to recategorize a transaction, modify the description of a transaction, change the date of a transaction, those are all going to be available. You can also bulk edit a couple of the categories, but this is just a way for you to take a look at the cash flow information coming in and be able to make sure it's categorized in a way that makes the most sense for you. So here is a quick view of our data, what we call data delivery. And this is, we've talked to a lot of clients, and in dealing with the vast amount of data that we bring in and aggregate on clients' behalf, we want to make that data available back to you in a way that makes the most sense and is readily consumable by you or by any service you elect to partner with. This is an example of our partnership with Snowflake. We're able to extract information from Wealth Access and deliver it to Snowflake in this instance, but we're pretty agnostic as how we work with partners. In one of the views here is also in our Amazon S3 buckets. Really, anywhere you need data, we can deliver data. It is ultimately the bank's data, and so you guys can ask for it and have it delivered wherever you need to, whenever you need to, at your pace. So if you're not ready for it, that's completely okay. But we do have the ability now in production to deliver the aggregated data, the unified client record that we've put together for clients, back to them to be consumed in any of the more powerful analytic engines that you want to utilize, whether it's Snowflake or Salesforce or anything like that. We're able to deliver this data back to them. There's elements for small banks, medium banks, and large banks, all with different requirements to be able to utilize this service. So feel free to reach out to your client success manager to understand what we have available and how we can partner with you to deliver that data back to you in a way that makes the most sense. Lastly, I want to talk briefly about one of our internal projects that we have been working on. We have been, over the last several months, working on what we call a CI/CD pipeline. So that's continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline that allows us to, as an agile development shop, it allows us to consistently roll new projects and updated code to environments as needed. And for us internally, that's great because we can ship code to testing environments, release testing, but also for our clients, a UAT environment. So what we've initiated internally and are wrapping up is this project that we call lower environments, which would be anything below production. And that's so we can deliver code seamlessly to any of the different environments we have internally, whether it's a dev testing environment, internal release testing environment, or a client-facing user acceptance testing environment. Those are all supported by this new CI/CD project that allows us to allow for that code to be in those places very quickly, and allows us to keep everything in sync as it goes across different availability areas for testing and UAT. So if you had any questions or anything struck you as very interesting that you'd like to learn more about, please don't hesitate to reach out to your customer service rep, and we can have further conversations as needed.